And 3, 2, we are live. Episode 10. Made it to the dime marker. 10.
Let's go, dude. I think that's a milestone.
It
Really,
is.
we
I
should
think it is too.
celebrate. We need to celebrate this.
I like it. We get together, throw a party for our 10th episode of No One Told Me, a hockey podcast. Jack, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. On this Sunday, I had a pretty good weekend over here. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Got a lot of work. We're starting to get finals in my grad program. So got one to do today. I got another one on Tuesday. So we're kind of battling, but getting through it.
Finals week is kind of the best, but also kind of the worst because like you don't have classes and homework to take care of, but it's still super stressful in terms of tests. Like it's make or break almost.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, having to be able to do some stuff remotely, right? Like you're not so stressed out about the work. I'm kind of stressed sometimes my laptop's gonna crash. And it's like if that happens, like I'm done. I'm to zero.
Right.
F for Fletcher.
Did you like so we both went to college during COVID? I think it was our sophomore going into junior year. Did you like the doing online classes and stuff?
I didn't. I mean, it was okay. I feel like, I thought it was a bit easier. I mean, how can it not be? I mean, you're working online, but I don't know. I kind of like the classroom setting. Like kind of meet some people and I don't know, being in COVID lockdown, like kind of probably made that a bit more sucky, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, in terms of like my junior year for like mechanical engineering, like that is easily your hardest your hardest year. So it was kind of nice having it online because, like you said, it made it a little bit easier. But at the same time, I probably didn't get as much out of it in terms of like because we couldn't do labs or anything in person, so I missed a ton of like hands-on labs. We just had to watch them by video, and so that kind of took away from the experience. But I certainly made the tests and stuff easier. So I guess my GPA definitely got a little bump because of the online stuff.
So it's like today's March 12th is our recording day. If we go back to 2020, right, the COVID year.
It was around here.
It was because I got a notification on my phone, like a Snapchat memory.
Mm-hmm.
So we had lost to Yale in a best of 3. I don't think I told this story on here. Maybe I did.
No.
On the Friday, we played Yale at Yale. We won. On the Saturday, we lost, right? We're expecting this awesome crowd on Sunday. And there was like no one at the game. And I remember like being in the line like for the national anthem and like turning to somebody next to me being like, what the hell's going on here? And the kid responded to me and was like, some sort of like virus going around. I was like, oh, like nice, like whatever. And then we ended up losing that game in double overtime.
So your season was done?
So season was done.
Yeah.
We went home. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we had like some finals. I think we went out Wednesday night. That's where all the Snapchat memories are coming from. And then we're home Thursday.
And then you were home the rest of the year, right?
Rest of the year, yeah, all the way, through the summer.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I remember. So our season was done, and I went to school in Milwaukee, so then Chicago's right there, and that's where all my friends are, like my school friends from home. And so I drove down there to go to like the St. Patrick's Day like bar crawl and stuff. And like they were like debating whether they were gonna keep it like do it or not because of the pandemic and stuff. And like that was like the last day I went out before they the city let that happen, and then the next day went full lockdown on the whole city like right after that. So that was like my last day of like going out and stuff was St. Patrick's Day like bar crawl. So
I think that going out strong. I think that
I did like the good time.
The big like shocker was when like the sports leagues started commenting on it. Like Rudy Gobert, I think got it like on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then the NBA put out a statement, and then the NHL put out a statement. And I remember being at a restaurant called Zen. It was like a Chinese like bar type of thing, Japanese food maybe. And I saw like NHL comment on COVID come across like the screen, and I was like, oh boy, like. Yeah, we may be in for one here.
Well, I remember we went home for school, like, because our semester was just starting. We were in week 1 of spring sophomore semester because we're on trimesters. And we went in person for 2 days. Then they sent us home. And then I was like, oh, like it'll be like 2 weeks and then we'll figure it out. And we just stayed home the rest of the year. It was super wild.
You know what's crazy is I had like really early on, like right when there wasn't even a case in the United States yet. I had a teacher. He's like probably one of the smartest teachers I had at Union. Like he went to Yale, Yeah, I think he did go to Yale. Yeah, he went to Yale, graduated, was a monk for like 3 years, like a full on monk, no phone, nothing, lived in the mountains.
Wow.
So he was like really, I mean, not that being a monk makes you intelligent, but he was very intelligent and had that cool experience. So like all the
Yeah.
boys loved him.
Yeah.
And I remember we asked him like really early on, we're like, what do you think of this like coronavirus thing? He was like, honestly, guys, like, he called us the boys. He's like, honestly, boys, like, it's not going to be, he's like, it's not going to be pretty. He's like, it's going to come, it's going to kill millions, and then it's probably going to get integrated into daily life. And sure enough, now it's 2023.
Spot on.
Spot
Spot
on.
on. He had intel. He had
And
inside intel in the monk community.
we were like, no. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I think it's going to be like that. He played hockey at a diner. No, he didn't play hockey at a diner. He played hockey and he lived in a diner.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
And then he's a monk. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's
cool
awesome.
life.
So, all right, we just went on a little tangent. Let me get into this. So last night, I go to Chipotle. I'm coming home, and I'm in a white rice, black beans, chicken, double pico, medium, double corn,
a
little bit of sour cream. They got all-time sour cream, guac, cheese, lettuce. Run it through the garden, baby. Run it through the garden, baby.
All right, go back to your story.
So I'm in the turn lane, and there's these two guys crossing the street, and it's like not a good time to cross. They're like in the middle of the street too. It's not like at a crosswalk, and they're like 100 yards away from me, like past the light. And I'm like watching them, and I'm like, this is not a very good time to cross the street because there's cars coming and stuff. And one of them is like walking kind of funky, like he's not walking like in a straight line. And all of a sudden, there's this car coming in the far right lane. He steps into the lane. He gets hit, dude. Like 40 miles an hour. This car just boom hits him, like clips his one leg, so he goes like flying in the air, spinning.
Like how, like slow motion, he's actually spinning.
Yes, because like it was like he was stepping in and it like hit his inside leg, so it like threw him in the air, probably like 7 feet in the air, spinning, hits the ground. The headlight of the car shatters. It flies. The rear view or the side mirror flies off. The person takes off. They don't stop. Hit and run. Boom. They book it. They book it right, and some car follows them and like chasing them down to get like their plate. Dude, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Wait, so you as a vigilant bystander should have got the phone out, followed the guy, and videotaped the license plate yourself.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, what? Okay, so what if I'm chasing this guy? He stops, gets out of the car. Now he's pointing a gun at me. I don't need that right now.
No, you're not trying to be Fast and Furious auditions. You saw that happen, right? Maybe call the police. Hey, there's been a hit and run. You go home.
And it's like a very obvious car. It was like a red, like Sequoia or something. Like it was super obvious car and stuff. It was so wild. I've never seen anything like that.
What if they were listening to our pod?
And they were just distracted?
Yeah,
we got them, dude. They were like laughing. They were like laughing so hard, like head back laughing.
Yeah, they were just listening to you. They were listening to you make those cougar noises from like episode 3.
Yeah. I've had some.
So what were the reactions of the people? Like the people, how'd they react?
Who? The people on the ground?
Yeah, the one guy like. Did he die?
I don't know. It was nighttime. It was pitch black, so I couldn't see.
Died.
Yeah, I keep looking it up online and stuff. I can't find anything. Dude, it was so crazy. We're having bad juju around here. I'll tell you the other story really quick. I didn't plan this, but one of our friends from Utah that we hang out with quite often, he goes to a rock climbing gym here that I used to go to, and you know the like the auto belay ones where it's like it, you know, you lock it and that it like holds you from the top. He was coming down, it failed on him. He fell 50 feet. This was a week and a half ago. He fell 50 feet. He broke both of his legs, his ankle, his sternum, his nose, and I think one of his wrists. He fell from almost the top, 50 feet in the air.
So, but he's making this lawsuit's got to be a big one.
Yeah, the place, I'm not going to say the place, but it's being like super sketchy on like releasing like the video. Like they won't show him the video. They're saying like he most likely wasn't locked into the thing. And I've climbed on those exact ones because I used to go there. You know if you're locked into that thing or not, for sure, 100%. Like the clip is huge and like you can tell 100%. So hopefully they take action on it, or like it's someone's fault. I don't think it's someone's fault.
I was thinking about coming out to Utah. I don't know if I want to anymore.
Oh, dude, I know a lot of bad juju around here right now. I'm a
Yeah.
little scared. It's a little scary. As soon as that happened last night, I was like, I gotta get inside and lock the door, shut it
Yeah,
down,
put on
dude.
put on a movie
Yep,
and shut it down.
shut
You
it
don't need to
down
be
for
out
the
and
rest of
about.
the night. Right, and so both of those crazy within a week and a half. I've both of those happened. But I want to get into this because I got to get your take.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So
is this pre or post trampoline park you had told me you were going to?
this is which one?
The car accident.
This was post. So I went to a trampoline park on Friday.
So trampoline park, Chipotle, car accident. I'm just trying to get the timeline down.
Well, trampoline park was Friday. The Chipotle car accident was Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So a day and a half in between. But so me and my girlfriend Madison, we went to a trampoline park on Friday because she was a gymnast, so she like loves like going on that type of stuff and whatnot. And we've been wanting to just because. So we go to this one, and this one is not one of the ones where it has like a bunch of trampolines. Like one of them is like kind of like an obstacle course one. Then they have like a couple trampolines for like that, where people do the tricks off the wall and stuff.
Okay.
Then they have like a basketball. Then they have like a kid. So there's just like not many trampolines. So this place is packed with little kids, and we come in there, two 25-year-olds.
You're looking to jump, looking to get
We're
active.
looking to get jumped. We don't have any kids with us. All the other adults who are jumping have a kid. We don't.
Yeah.
So we are clearly out of our. We're not in the right place. But we go for it. So they ask me at the counter. They go, "Do you need socks?" And I read the sign, and it says you need like whatever these type of sticky
certain
socks.
grip. They got a grip on the bottom.
They got the grips, and I read the sign, and I was like, they're not going to say anything to me. Like, I don't need them. So I just said, no, I'm good. Madison had a pair from like the hospital that they give out. So she was like wearing those ones. So she was fine. So I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need them.
They're free. So, aren't they free?
No, they're $3.
Okay.
So I was like, whatever. I'm not buying those. So then I'm jumping. The ref calls me out. Out like
whistle.
No whistle. Put his arm. Put his arm up.
Okay. But penalty. Delayed penalty.
Yeah, delayed penalty.
Sock penalty.
Sock penalty. Yeah, sock violation. So, okay, so I go buy the socks. And this is, do you ever sometimes like you know how we always talk about like what are people doing? Yep. Do you ever catch yourselves doing something where it's like, what am I doing? Like, and I didn't even catch myself till after. Madison actually called me out on it, which I'm proud of.
Wait, what? Wait, can I guess what you did?
Go ahead.
Okay, here's what I'm going to guess. Either one, the socks were the wrong size and you tried returning them, or two, maybe you were putting your socks over the other socks.
That's actually not a bad play. I kind of like that move of the sock over the sock, but no.
Okay, what were you doing?
Worse. This is worse. So they give you a new fresh pair of socks. So like instead of sitting down and taking off one of my socks at a time, I took off both of my socks standing up, and I had bare feet on the ground, just standing there trying to unravel these other socks. I was barefoot in front of all these parents sitting on these couches and stuff, just on the floor, dude.
Why didn't you just go sit down?
I don't know, dude. I was standing there with my bare feet. I took off my socks prematurely, and I had my feet exposed for a solid minute trying to get these other socks undone.
I could see you kind of fumbling with the wrapper a bit.
It was tough. It was a tight roll, and I was like, after that, Madison called me out. She's like, why did you just do that? Like, why would you stand there without any socks on that nasty ass ground? And I'm like, these are the people I get mad at, and I just did that. It happens every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you slip, and sometimes it kind of puts you back in the line. But I cannot believe I did that. I'm disappointed in myself.
I've been to one trampoline park my whole life, and I believe the whole time that I was there, I was worried about getting injured. It was a mid-season. Our team went to a trampoline park.
Oh, I was with you.
Yeah, you were there. We were like dunking on basketball courts. Guys were doing like double backflips. I'm just trying to do a little jump seat.
Just a little hop, right jump, to the butt.
Jump, butt to feet. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a scaredy cat too in terms of like doing tricks. Like, but I did my first ever trampoline backflip there.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Like not into a foam pit or anything. I put in my mindset. I practiced on like they had like some like pad thingy. I practiced and then I just committed to it. So now I can do a backflip on a
Are you
trampoline.
sore post trampoline park? I feel like I would be.
Well,
Knees?
it's hard to tell because I'm like doing the triathlon training. So like
Yeah,
I am sore, but I don't know if it's directly from that.
that's fair. That's very
So
fair.
yeah. But anyway, I had a big mishap right there. And I'm a little disappointed in myself, but we recover and we learn from it. So
It's an exciting week for you. One witnessed car accident, unfortunately, and I hope he's okay. One friend falling off a rock climbing wall,
mhm.
and three, you avoided a foot fungus by a barefoot sock event.
I might have had to go. I avoided a doctor's appointment, is what I did.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you
did.
avoided it. Good feat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I took a hard fall during skiing too, but we won't get into that one.
Yeah, good.
Um, so, all right. So let's get into a little hockey talk here. I know you, so you obviously you watch a lot of NHL games and you're pretty in tune with like NHL trades and stuff. So I want to get your thoughts right now on the New York Rangers because they're a weapon.
Yeah, I would say, like, looking at the trade deadline, I would consider them a big winner.
Mhm.
Obviously, getting Tarasenko from the Blues and Kane from Jack's hometown Chicago Blackhawks is
Mhm.
definitely two huge ads. Now, their performance post trade deadline I don't think it's the glory that people have wanted in terms of individual performance. At least I know
Yeah.
Tarasenko and Kane have now finally started to get a roll a bit. But I believe in Kane's first 3 games, they were 0-3. He had 4 total shots and was averaging like under 18 minutes of ice time. Regardless, I think the New York Rangers are going to win the East. Maybe Boston. I think that's probably their biggest competition, and
Oh
Carolina, who we'll
yeah.
get into. But I mean, I want to hear you. I want to hear you put together 2 power play units, right? With the
Dude,
Rangers.
I don't
What?
you can't ask me for power play units. You got to put them
Okay,
together.
fine. I'll put
Well,
together some
what I
units.
will say though, what I want to say though about like when like a bunch of guys get loaded onto a team and stuff, like people just expect them to be able to go out there like game 1 and click
Yep.
right away and be like dominant. It's going to take some time for them to get used to playing with some of these guys, figuring out their tendencies, figuring out where they like the puck or where they are usually at on the ice. But so give it like a month and then into playoffs, and I bet you they're gonna be connecting for sure, big time.
And this is a bit of a hot take here, but right, if this was 2014, 15, and the Kane
Mhm.
trade happened, right, this is a
Yeah,
different story. But we got to remember, right? I mean, unfortunately, Kane's kind of on the downslope of his career. I would say he probably peaked in Chicago, right? So
yeah, oh yeah,
people expect him to come and rip it up. It's like, whoa, like, yeah, he's gonna provide a lot of value, a lot of assists, right? A lot of points, probably the best American-born player in
hmm
our age, like in our time.
yeah,
So I mean, is that a hot take? Yeah, right. Kane's on the downslope, but still a huge pickup for the Rangers.
yeah. Well, and I think also like when guys are like kind of on their towards the end of their career, like for a guy like him, he doesn't have like for the Blackhawks, like he's carrying them in like
Yep.
in terms of creating offense. Like on a team like the Rangers, he doesn't necessarily have to carry like that. He can be a key piece in the offense, but he doesn't have to be that like number one guy. So it can kind of take some of the stress off of him and like his output in a game. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean, you
Like he
look
can do
at
a better job at like conserving like where he's exerting energy and stuff, which at an age like that, if he gets hot in playoffs, I mean, he could be lighting it up.
yeah, I mean, and you look at like the guys he's playing with now in New York, right? If you take, I mean, I'll rip through a couple of them right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fox, Tarasenko, Kane, Kreider, Zibanejad, Panarin, Kako, Lafreniere, Trocheck, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm maybe missing a couple of big ones too, right? Just that group. If you were to take any of those guys and move them on to a different team, so say for example, Kreider's been traded to Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kreider's now the top guy, right? Maybe
Right.
Barkov, Kachuk, right? But he's now a top 3 versus, I mean, they're playing 3 first lines essentially, which is
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, good for them.
Yeah. It might take them some time to figure out some of the line combinations that click well. Because like just because like Panarin and Kane used to play together, like for their team right now, that might not be the best option.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
it definitely takes some time on figuring out who's best with who. So all right, so give me one of your power plays then. You put two together because you're more in
Yeah, I
tune.
would say Adam Fox, the number 1 power play guy, did have the unfortunate experience of playing against him in college, and his creativity was
Who did he play
incredible.
for
Harvard.
in college? Okay, he did.
He had 117 points as a junior defenseman.
And how many games? Like,
it's 3 years, 90 or so.
oh, you're saying, gotcha. In 3 years.
As a junior, as a junior D.
Oh, I thought you meant in a season. I'm like, dude.
No. 3 years. But the crazy part about that is like we had guys who were elite players, right? Have 4 years and they were forwards as seniors and they were breaking their 100-point mark.
Yeah.
Like perspective here, he's a junior D with 117. And he won a Norris. So, all right. So anyway, Fox on the first power play unit. He's running the top. I'm going to put Kane on one flank, Panarin on the other flank. And here's where it gets kind of tricky. To put Kreider on a second unit, I'm going to have to because I would like Tarasenko in the middle. And then maybe Kako down low. And then on the other unit, Miller and Trouba up top. Maybe like a 2-3 setup. Ugh. And then Kreider. I like that.
You like 2-3s,
yeah.
Dude? I do not, dude. I love the umbrella all day. I'm not a big fan of
I think it's hard to defend the 2-3. Regardless. Then a Kreider, Zibanejad, and throw another one in there. Lafreniere. He's a first overall pick, so he's probably pretty good.
He's okay. He can handle it probably.
Yeah, he'll do okay.
Okay.
Those are my units, but I don't coach the Rangers, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe one day though, with the career,
nice.
The way your career is excelling.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love it.
All right, so what do you got then for Carolina here?
I would say Carolina, an underdog in the East. I mean, they made some okay moves. Gostisbehere and Puljujarvi are two big pickups for them, but I mean, they just look good. I don't know. You don't watch as much hockey as I do, but if you watch them, they're fast. Right, they attack, like their offense is elite. It's Svechnikov, Aho, now Puljujarvi, poor Pacioretty with the ankle injury. Did you see that?
Yeah, that sucks.
So his Achilles. Oh,
yeah.
It just looks so painful.
Did he tear his Achilles before too? Right? Was that who tore his Achilles? Right, he tore his like last season or at the beginning.
Yeah, and then he just came back, had a couple good games, and then tore it again.
Oh my God, how old is he?
On the older side. I did see a great video of him. Did you see this video of him with there was a fan who like dropped his ice cream in the stands, and Pacioretty and his kids. Pacioretty was out because he was injured. Okay. And him and his kids like delivered this fan like a new ice cream cone. It was a kid.
Oh, no way. He's more really focused on the kid with an ice cream cone than his team.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? At that age, I respect it.
Yeah,
like, good for
whatever.
him.
Yeah, he's entertaining his kids and stuff. Do you think? What do you think about them like defensively? Because like that is where teams can really fall apart or really excel. I think, especially in playoffs.
I would say no Slavin's coming back pretty soon, and he's underrated D. Hamilton's really good. I also underrated Dougie Hamilton. And then I like the Gostisbehere pickup. I mean, I'm also biased because he played at Union, but I think he's quite a player.
Did he?
Yeah.
When did he play there? Do you know?
2014 national championship team. He was a +7 in a 7-4 victory over Minnesota.
In the championship game?
In the championship game.
Yeah. Wow.
Goal and a couple assists, I think.
So did he only play 1 year there and then leave, or was he there for multiple?
No, he played there for, I want to say 2 years. His freshman year, he went to the World Juniors, so he was gone for a bit.
Yeah.
And sophomore year, he was there. He may have been there more than that, to be honest. Maybe 3 years. I don't know.
You didn't really miss him by that much.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool to play with him, but he went right to Philly.
You missed him by like 4 years.
But, 3-4 years. Yeah.
Right. Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. Dude, the Bruins are an absolute wagon.
Yeah, they're a machine. First quickest team to 50 wins.
I'm actually really, well, I mean, their record's insane, but I'm actually surprised there hasn't been a team that, like, especially way back in the day, who could like just like really dominated.
Yeah. I mean, I guess just the speed that they did it. And I mean, they've won, I don't know what their home record is. I don't think they've lost more than 5 games at home. I could be wrong on that, but I mean, that's impressive. Same with, college hockey talk a little bit. Quinnipiac, they didn't lose a single game at home this year. 15-0-1.
Really?
Yeah. I watched their game against Yale on Friday, and they didn't give up more than 5 shots the whole game.
It is so important in hockey. I mean, I think every sport, but like if you can win your home games, it helps you out so much. one, it's like it's good for the fans and stuff like who are coming to support you like that, like then you get more people to your game and stuff. But like taking care of business at home is kind of a must. Like you don't have to travel. You're in the comfort of your own rink. You know the rink, you know everything about it. You have the advantage in that sense. Like winning those games are so much like in quotes easier than to go in an away rink and try to win.
Yeah, I
You
would say
know?
I saw a statistic the other day. There's a coach like talking about what he wants from his team.
Mhm.
He was saying that if you could win over 70% of your home games and 40% of your away games, you're in a pretty good
Yeah.
spot. It's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
right.
yeah. I totally agree because those some of the going on those roads at like to some of those rinks are super hard. Like I remember
Yeah.
when we would go to Janesville, it's like, dude,
Oh my
they have.
gosh.
It seemed like they had every advantage in the world there.
At the time too. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know how they are now. They're probably pretty good, but
yeah,
I was looking at that roster the other day, like that early Janesville team. It was like every single kid played Division One, I think.
yeah. Pretty close, actually. Really, really close, really close. So, all right. So let's get into this then. So we covered a little NHL there. I got to start watching some more NHL so I can chit chat about it with you because we could get into it for sure. If I
It's
just turn,
fun.
I know I
It's
need to
fun.
turn it on. I do like watching college hockey, like the tournament. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's awesome. And it's cool it's going to be in Tampa this year.
yeah,
Frozen 4.
yeah,
That's
yeah. It'd be
awesome.
awesome. It'd be
Florida,
awesome.
I'm telling you, I think Florida in the next like 15 years, they're really going to take off with hockey.
Oh
I
yeah,
think like
I'd love to see a stadium series or a Winter Classic with Florida Tampa. Maybe do it in Carolina. I
they
mean,
were
that takes
talking about
away.
doing it
Yeah,
in Tampa.
I
It's
don't I don't
so
know if they're gonna be
humid,
able to
dude.
do
That
it.
that oh my god, the ice would be so bad. They'd have
It
to
would be
figure
cool,
something out. It'd be
especially because
great.
they kind of have a rivalry now after like the like 2 years ago playoff series. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind
yeah,
of cool to
right.
watch. So
Yeah,
it's
I think
entertaining.
they're gonna really take off with youth hockey and stuff. I think that'd be great,
Yeah,
especially because I want to
absolutely.
live there eventually. So
It'd be
more
nice.
hockey there, the better. Okay, so let's get into this though. So we were talking a little bit earlier, and I want to get your take on. We'll start with the defensive side of a one-on-one. What do you like? So one-on-one line rush or whatever you want to call it. If you're going one-on-one with the defenseman as the defenseman, what is your responsibility?
Yeah, so I would say that the first thing as a D, right, you want to set a good gap, right? You want to put yourself in a good position to play this rush early on, even before it happens, right? So you could kind of start to see plays developing,
Right.
right? If I kind of see a forward start to kind of creep out of the zone, right, I may want to start to go with him, right? Not go
Hmm.
too early, right? A big gap, meaning the space in between you and the player, right? So I'd say setting that gap is really important. I said two, right? Stick on puck, right? As you're coming back, right? You're using that stick with a purpose, right? It's a $269, maybe even more these
Dude, they're
days.
like $400.
Yeah, like that's a tool for you, right? Angle
Yeah.
that guy. Like you want him to go to the wall, I move that stick to the middle. I want him to go to the middle, I move that stick to the wall. At the
Mhm.
same time, and I would say that this is probably my best advice, as that forward starts to make moves, let's not swipe at the puck, right? Once you swipe, you're off balance. That forward kind of sees you off balance and they attack the other direction, most likely.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
say?
I kind of blacked out at the beginning of what you said, but
No, you're totally good.
I kind of just went one in through one ear out the other. But what I'll say, I don't think you said this is one of the biggest things in it depends how your gap is, first of all, I think, because if you I want to say you want to kind of keep those dots as a guideline almost, but if you have a good gap and you can force him, to the outside, you can kind of, get outside the dots and play him a little bit tighter or, try to force a turnover at the blue line or something. So it kind of depends on where you're at on the ice and like where you are like relative to him. But if you have a good gap, you don't necessarily have to stay within those dots, but if you're kind of playing a line rush in general, I think you kind of have to stay within those dots because as soon as you get outside of that and he makes you turn your feet or something, you totally expose the inside of the ice.
Yeah. And I would say that, like, as Jack's talking about, right, staying inside the dots and making sure when to flip your feet, right? It's a big decision as a defenseman when to decide, right? Am I going to play this rush forward or am I going to play
Yeah.
this rush backwards with my toes up the ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never a bad thing to play it backwards, but it's an excellent skill to have if you can angle up properly. Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
Duncan Keith, right? He plays a lot of rushes forwards, Drew Doughty, right? A lot of these guys will be so far ahead thinking the game that their winger gets the puck, they're already in their face moving forward, pick up their stick, they're out the other way. So I think
Yeah.
that's huge.
we talked about this a couple weeks, you and I, just on the phone, about the ability for like a defenseman to be able to, I call it surfing, where you kind of come over the top and you play that forward, you skating forward. And it really, you have to really rely on your body position, and you have to trust your skating in that scenario, because you don't want to get too far ahead of him where now he can cut back on your back hip. Now you have to open up. You almost want to play it where he kind of almost has like a half step on you, but like he doesn't at the same time, because he has to beat you to the net. So you really have to rely on your skating right there, and trust that you have the ability to skate with him, that you're not going to get beat by him and like he's going to drop his shoulder and get to the net. So skating forward to defend is a great tool to use for defenders if you can learn how to do it properly. Like you said, watch some of those guys do it. They're masters at it.
Yeah,
And
and
it really helps.
yeah, and in doing that, right, Jack just said, like, maybe you play him right off his kind of back shoulder a bit, but in doing that, right, your stick is going to elongate you to where it kind of looks like you're with him, right?
Yeah,
So that's where
yeah,
that stick
right.
detail comes into play, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm off his back shoulder, but I'm stick on puck. There's no way he's going to cut back. Versus I'm off his back shoulder, my stick's behind him. He's just going to go in for a breakaway, right? So
Yeah,
like those
yeah.
are the things that you got to really analyze as you start to think,
Well,
right, how am I going to
and
play these rushes?
and one thing on that surf, like when you're coming over the top, if you have your stick down the wall, now if you're like coming over the top, so you're not you're not in line with him, you're still kind of angling at him. You you have to have a good stick on puck there and like deny the middle then. And then once you get kind of even with them, you can flip your stick to go stick on puck, but you have to deny that middle as you surf. And then once you kind of get to that even skating with them, then you can flip it to go stick on puck. Because if you have your stick forward going that whole way and it's not a very good like stick on puck, you open up the middle on yourself, like coming across, like now we can come in your back hip because your stick's not there.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's
so
spot on. What
yeah.
about
So
offensively?
yeah.
What about offensively? What are you looking for from a forward on a one-on-one?
The one thing I'm looking for is an offensive man is I'm trying to change my angle, whether it be cutting to the inside, then making a move to the outside, or, you know, taking some hard strides to the outside and getting that defenseman to cross over and turn his feet. My main goal as a forward is to try to get that defender to cross his feet over one way or the other. Because I think as soon as you cross those feet over, I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah, I would say,
I think that's my biggest thing. I don't take them, or like I'm never in that. But when I'm a defenseman, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
yeah, I think the two hardest things to defend for a D playing a one-on-one, so this would be the things to do as a forward, is
Mm-hmm.
two separate things. I would say first, right, change of speed, right?
Yeah,
You watch Connor McDavid, right? Watch Marner, right? These guys that are great skaters, right? They're not going 100% the entire time, right? Sometimes they're at 10%, sometimes they're at 100%, right? So if I'm able to slow up, right,
mm-hmm.
maybe that D keeps his speed. Now the gap's bigger, right? If I'm able to speed up, maybe that D can't keep his speed now and go around him. So I think
Yeah,
changing your speed on the attack is one. I'd say two, right? Use that D as a screen as you shoot, right? If
that's
you're
what I
able
was
to
thinking.
change your angle, maybe shoot it through his legs, right? Maybe move and shoot it around him, right? If you can combine those two things, I think you're an effective forward on a
And
one-on-one
I
at least.
and on a one-on-one, like if you get a shot through the defender, oh, okay, you're there. Okay, yeah, if you get a shot through the defender, that's a good play, because the puck could land anywhere. It could go in, like get tipped or deflected, or the goalie doesn't see it on the shot. So getting a shot on a one-on-one is never a bad play. What's a bad play is trying to dangle, stick on puck. Now it's going the other way.
Yeah,
That's not a good play, right? So
yeah,
is if you can get a shot on net, you did a good job, I think.
yeah. There's nothing better than playing a rush and the forward sets his feet and starts stick handling. For
Yeah,
me, for anybody, you're like, all right, thanks, like,
thank you. I will sit here in my lane the entire time. You have to go through me
yeah.
essentially to get to the net. So the more you stand there and keep your feet still, the better for me.
Yeah. Now, as we kind of look at, right, I guess the main theme of this pod so far is, right, how to play or defend rushes. So we just covered one-on-ones.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say defensively on a two-on-one? What
I'm
are you
gonna
looking
I'm
for?
gonna say one of my biggest pet peeves first, because I think you know what I'm gonna
I
say,
know
but
what you're
I
going to say.
always make videos on this, and it's usually guys in the NHL who are doing this, and I don't understand this. I was never taught this, and I agree with it. When you're taking a 2-on-1 as a defenseman, I personally don't think you should leave your feet. I think as soon as you leave your feet, you expose yourself so much in your defense. Like you lose all control of where you are on the ice. And if you have a skilled forward, he's going to make you pay for that. If he has patience and he has some ability to handle the puck, you're going to pay for that, and you just totally put yourself out of position, and you're not in a good place to defend anymore. Now, the only time I think it is an okay time to lay down is if that forward with the puck skates too far below, like say he's getting to like the bottom of the circle. I could see you laying down because now you're taking away that entire passing lane, and it's not like he can necessarily make a move around you. Like he has to pretty much pass right there if he brings himself that low. But other than that, like if he's at the top of the circles, I don't see any reason why you would leave your feet right there.
Yeah, I'm kind of on your side. I personally didn't like leaving my feet a lot. I wasn't great at playing 2-on-1s. I mean, that's just the truth of it.
It's
But
hard. It's
it
hard.
is really hard. And leaving your feet, like you said, right, it kind of takes you out of the play. There is a time to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that that comes down to player awareness, right? If you're good at that, you're good at it,
Yeah.
right? Like I think one NHL player that's really good at it is Carlson,
Okay.
right? Now, also, right, that's Eric Carlson, probably one of the best defensemen of all time, right? Probably
Mm-hmm.
top 10, top 12,
Right.
right? So that doesn't mean that every might and squirt and pee-wee player around needs to start doing that, right? And that's for
Yeah.
coaches too, right? There's
Yeah.
different ways to play a 2-on-1. I would recommend, right? One, again, right, set a good gap. Two, as
Yeah.
a D, I want to look and see what hand the puck carrier is, right? If that guy is coming down the ice and his stick is to the middle, right? So and by stick to the middle, I mean if I'm taking a rush, I can't really say this
There's
because we're on a podcast, right?
yeah.
But if he's on the right side coming at me and he's a righty, his stick to the middle. If he's on the left side coming at me, lefty, his stick to the middle, right? He's
Yeah.
more of a shooting threat that way, right? He's got a better angle to shoot.
Yeah.
If it's opposite, right, and that sticks to the outside, right, now he may pass. And that's going to adjust, right, how I play that, whether or not I kind of bait him first, right, give him a little scare and then deck out to my other guy,
Mm-hmm.
or whether or not I'm just going to let that goalie take that shot and make sure that pass doesn't get crossed. But that's something to look for as a D.
I was gonna say one thing that I would recommend doing is talk to your goalie and see what he wants you to do, because I know a lot of goalies want the shot. They want you to take away the back door and let them have that shot because they have the angle on it. They're already set with that guy with the puck. So for you to take away the back door is a lot easier for them. Now, it doesn't mean that you let the guy walk in because you're so worried about the guy in the back door. You still have to stay, relatively in the center and play it as a 2-on-1. But your main job, for the most part, is to try to deny that 2-on-1 or deny that backdoor pass, because that is super hard for a goalie to come across and make that save. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say, right, in doing that as a D, right, I'm playing that 2-on-1. Once that shot comes, right, or that pass, right, I don't want to let the momentum of me skating backwards take me behind the net. Right. So that
Mm-hmm.
shot comes, I got to stop right at the top of that crease. I'm ready to
Yeah.
clear out a rebound. I'm ready to pick up a stick. Sometimes, and very good forwards will do this, right? They'll kind of wait out the goalie. Like they won't even shoot. They'll kind of just start deking in tight. If
Yeah.
I'm behind the net, I'm of no help. But if I've stopped, right, there's a chance that I can have a last second opportunity and I can kind of stick away that puck as he gets around the goalie. So stopping at the net, I think that's pretty important.
Oh, I think that's huge. I think that's huge. One thing that I like doing too in terms of like taking away passing lanes was, I'd take the 2-on-1 and then there'd be a point where I eventually turn my feet towards the net. And I like dropping to a knee, which is because you can still have a good stick and stuff, but that knee drop, like I'm still ability to move well and like, turn or stop and start. I can turn right off that one knee, but it also takes away a passing lane there. So you got your stick denying it, then you have your one skate, and then you have your whole other leg denying it. Especially if they work themselves like down to like below the dots, they're kind of starting to run out of room, especially for a shooting option. So they're probably going to try to pass at that point. So if you can kind of then take away more of a passing lane because it's most likely going to be a pass, the more you could take away, the better. But still, I don't agree with leaving your feet. Now, if you're forward, what are you looking for on a 2-on-1?
I think
Usually,
first,
usually when we're on 2-on-1s, we're busting to the back door
yeah,
for a
I'm
defenseman.
stopping.
We're busting. We're
Yeah,
excited. We're even up
don't.
there. We're all juiced.
I think that at the younger levels, right, Pee Wee Bantams, U16s, right, you kind of start to see the development of, I'm gonna say this is more Bantam U16, not Pee Wee, like deception, right? A little bit of deception.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look, shoot, and I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna look, pass, and I'm gonna shoot. Right? Barkov had a really great goal the other night, where he came in and he's literally staring at the guy he's going to the net with. Now,
Hmm.
not everybody could do this as good as Barkov, right? He just shot it, right? He didn't
Yeah.
even look at the goalie once. Now,
Hmm.
that's not really what I'm
It's
saying
tough to
because we're
do.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like some type of deception, right? Am I able to shift my weight and then pass? Am I able to look, shoot, really kind of sell it and then move it over? I think that those are effective tools for forwards. And here's a sneaky trick, right? You could get an interference call for this. If you decide to cross with your other person, right?
Yeah.
The D has to start thinking. Sometimes I've played against guys that as they're crossing, they kind of stick away my stick. Like
Oh yeah. Great
they're kind of
play.
sticking my stick.
Yeah.
And that throws me off a lot. I have seen interference calls go that way though. So that's something to be aware of.
So yeah, I totally agree. Like the more you can like interfere with that defenseman, like anywhere on the ice, the more you can kind of interfere within the lines of the game, the more space you're going to create for your teammates and yourself. So I totally agree with that. But okay, so this is one thing I want to say that you cannot do as a forward, and I see so many players do this. Is they're on a 2-on-1 and they try to go short side high, and now it's rimming out of the zone. You cannot miss the net on a 2-on-1 like that. It,
Yeah, that's
it,
not.
it
Yeah,
totally kills momentum for your team. And I've seen so many kids do this. They see like a little pocket right in the corner. And like, I mean, granted, some guys insanely skilled and can do that, like on point, and that, they're like that. But a lot of players don't have that ability to do that consistently enough to do it on a 2-on-1 or like a 3-on-2, because now it's breaking out and it's going the other way most likely.
yeah,
So that's one thing you cannot do. And the other thing, it's super cliche, but and every coach like says it, is it's okay to put the puck in the goalie's pads. It's totally okay. It creates so much chaos, offense. Besides the guy on the 2-on-1, there's probably another guy coming in as well at some point. So they're just it's never a bad play to put the puck 6 inches off the ice and put it in the goalie's pads, and now that puck's around the net or it's a rebound for your teammate. It's super cliche, and it is tough as a forward when you're coming in, because I've been in the same position. You're like, you don't want to waste that opportunity with putting it off the goalie's pad. Like that's no fun. But at the end of the day, it creates offense. It's no lie like why players do it at the highest level, because it works, and it causes chaos, and it creates confusion, and pucks lay there, and it's a 2-on-1. So they can't cover both of you. So I think creating offense like that too, especially if the defenseman is doing a pretty good job at taking away that backdoor pass. The other way you can get it to your forward is using the goalie's pad to get it there.
yeah,
So, I mean, and there's certain spots on the goalie's pad where, like, if you practice it enough, you can put that puck in a certain place off his pad, and it is going to literally pop out right in that backdoor area. There's
yeah,
certain kick
absolutely.
points on those pads where it will land right there.
Absolutely. I would say that the right one thing that a lot of youth hockey players and college hockey players will struggle with a bit is like, why is coach yelling at me? I got on a 2-on-1. Like, why is coach yelling at me?
Yeah.
Right? Coach is probably yelling at you because you passed up a grade A shooting opportunity. Right? You're likely never going to get yelled at for shooting. Right? But
Yeah.
if you're shooting at that short side high, like Jack's talking about, and it's rimming all the way around, or you're trying that cross ice saucer pass that likely is not there, right? That's probably why he's yelling at you. He's not yelling at you to be demeaning, most likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of the opportunity, right? There's nothing wrong with keeping it simple. You put it on net, good things happen. So
I was
that's
I
what I
was
say
just
for two
gonna
on ones.
say I was gonna say like the simpler you can keep it on a 2-on-1, the better. Like if you have a passing lane to your guy, fire it over there, and he should be catching and shooting right away. Like the simpler, or like if you have a shot and you see something open on the goalie, put it there. But the more you try to get cute with it and fancy, the longer you hold on to it. Sometimes, like the more you limit your options as soon as you start to go below that goal line or the dot, you're really limiting your options the further and further you go past that dot, I think is
Yeah.
when your options really start to limit. So, and then another thing I just want to add really quick that I thought of is like move that puck. Like when you get into the zone and you're on a 2-on-1, I think you should move that puck to your other forward coming in with you, because now the goalie has to completely shift his angle. Now he's not necessarily on his post where he set originally. Now the defenseman has to shift over. Like everything has to shift over. So if you can move that puck, like when you get in the zone right away, almost everything has to shift defensively, and it can throw the goalie's positioning off where the defender is and creates a little bit more confusion. So I think you should move the puck early, and then from there kind of read what's open from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, making the other team work in any part of the
Yeah.
game, right? Not just 2-on-1s. If I can make the goalie do work, right? Maybe I make that pass early. He's uncomfortable. Maybe I change my speed, like we're talking about the 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I've now
When they change
forced
their
that.
speed is hard.
Yeah, I've
When
forced the D to adjust, right? Forcing that player to adjust is going to make you a more effective offensive player for your team.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so then let's get into this one right here. The last one, 3-on-2s as a defenseman. 3-on-2s can either be the most fun thing if you're playing against people who aren't very effective at 3-on-2s because it's easy, or it can be one of the hardest things to defend. So give me your take on a 3-on-2 defensively.
So I think, right, that a staple for me and something that I try to like teach my players here, we kind of preach as a staff a bit, is like for those 2D, you're playing two separate 2-on-1s, right? So you got likely three guys coming at you, the strong side D, right? You can't just go up to the guy with the puck. What's he going to do? He's going to chip it around you. Then there's a 2-on-1, right? You also can't go just to the guy going to the net, because then you've given your other D a 2-on-1. So simultaneously, you and your partner are playing two separate 2-on-1s. Puck carrier, net drive, that's one 2-on-1. The other D, net drive, and far side guy. Now, it's an easy thing to do in practice. That weak side D, just say, oh, the goalie's going to get the weak side guy, and I'm just going to go with the guy going to the net, right? But as you get better and better, right, that cross ice pass, that weak side forward is just absolutely hammering that thing on net, likely going to end up into a goal. So I would encourage you and your partner to get on the same page in playing these to where, right, maybe I bait that strong side forward into moving it to the weak side and I step up, right? You need to really anticipate what's going on. At the end of the day, I would say you don't want that middle lane forward just to sneak right through you guys and get a breakaway. So anticipation and right playing those 2-on-1s is what I'm going to encourage you to do.
I think in terms of that strong side D, so you are the guy gapped up on the puck carrier. The better the gap that you have on that guy, the harder it is that for him to make plays. So if you know, like if because like if you can force a play at the blue line, because realistically, so that puck carrier and probably the net drive guy at that point are even, and that trailer isn't in the zone yet. So he doesn't have that as an option right away. So the stronger that you can have that gap right at the beginning, right at the blue line, tight gap, stick on puck, because at that moment right there, it's a 2-on-2. It's not until he gets a little bit further into the zone where that third guy is going to be in the offensive zone and an option. So if you can have a tight gap in between that red line and blue line, and you see a 3-on-2 developing, if you can have a tight gap on him with a good stick, still holding like your dot lane, but like, I mean, you can get your stick out there for the most part. You can creep over a little bit. The tighter the gap, the more options you're taking away from him. And it makes it, if your stick is on that puck, it makes it really tough for a forward to make a pass from there, because it has to be a saucer, it has to be on the money, it has to be under your stick. So I think, but once you get into that zone and they have a full 3-on-2, it's really a delicate dance on reading each player and kind of what they're doing. It's super hard to be like, oh, you should do this or that on these, because 3-on-2s, so many different options can happen. And like you said, it's really the biggest thing is 2-on-1s. And I think you and your defensive partner, like, you guys should be on the same page of how you're going to play these. And it comes with repetition as well, like in practice. And then one other thing I'll say, usually on a 3-on-2, you'll have a forward coming back. And if he's back checking hard enough and with a purpose, he should be able to catch that third trailer guy, mainly because he has to slow up to be kind of that late back option. So a forward can, a lot of the times, can pick him up. And so as a defenseman, that middle defenseman, you're the quarterback of the 3-on-2 because your strong side guy is focused on that, that 2-on-1. So you can see everything on the whole ice. So you as that center defenseman have to be calling out to your forward back checking which guy you want him to take. Because if not, he doesn't know which guy on, of the two going to the net or the high guy, which one you want him to take. And then confusion can happen. You can both go the same guy. So you have to be communicating with your forwards back checking is one of your main responsibilities as that center defenseman.
Yeah, I'd say it's all 100% spot on. I'd say, right, Jack was talking about, right, make that strong side forward as the strong side D, make a play early. As that middle D, right, that guy's going to the net. Likely that play is going to be either a chip to that middle guy or he's going to pass it to that middle guy. You want to meet that puck as it comes, right? Yeah. So that goes, just move over, right? That puck comes, boom, stick on puck right away, right? I think that's going to be effective. And then for forwards, right, I would just say offensively, right, we want to have depth to our rush, right? So one guy has to go to the net every time. It creates chaos. Open up that depth so you're kind of creating a triangle in a sense. And then this is going to be sounds simple, right? Because we're playing 2-on-1s as a D, if you don't have anything, throw it on the pads, right? You never know where it's going to bounce, right? And you have that trailer coming in. So, no forward likes to back check for the most part. So if you throw it on the pads and that D goes with the middle lane drive, that weak side guy, right now he's stepping into a puck and he's looking to score.
Yeah. I'll say too, like in terms of forwards, one of the things that is always difficult when you're playing and you're that center defenseman is that guy driving the net. If he can drive and almost take you with him. So like if you're a forward, take that defenseman, take his stick, take his hands with you. So you're kind of forcing him to come with you. And now you open up that passing lane for that third guy. And if there's no back check, I mean, he's walking in pretty far right there. Yeah. So if you as that center drive on a play, if you can take that forward or that defenseman with you and kind of interfere with him, even if you don't take him with you, if you can interfere with him, give him a little stick lift as you're going by, you open up a passing lane for your trailer guy. So I think that, create space for your other teammates out there. I think, also on a 3-on-2, I think if you can attack from the center of the ice first and distribute out from there, we've talked about it before, but it makes it a lot harder for defensemen to defend starting from the center of the ice out compared to at the walls, because at the walls, it's a lot easier for defensemen to gap up and kind of know what they're doing. But if you're coming in at the center of the ice and attacking, those defensemen have to communicate with each other on who's taking who. And it can be really difficult, especially if you got a guy driving hard on one of their backs. Now he feels obligated to take them, and it can just cause so much chaos. So you can start with the puck in the center of the ice and distribute from there on a 3-on-2. That also can create a lot of offense for you in different ways.
I love it.
So that's kind of what I have for that.
There's a lot we just threw a lot of information at the listeners, right? But
we did.
As we said in one of the older episodes, a lot of golden nuggets.
So many, a lot of those too. Like I didn't even have half the stuff I said planned out. It was just off the top of my head as I was like imagining me like taking a 2-on or a 3-on-2 or something.
Just sharing information
off the dome, just off the
10-piece golden nuggets.
Let's go, baby.
No one told me.
With the sauce on the side. Let's go.
No sauce. We get yelled at for sauce.
True. I have this guy in my men's league team, dude. He refuses to make an on-ice pass. He sauces everything he gets.
I respect it.
I do too. Like, if you're going to go with it, man. It's like, just give me the puck on the ice.
I love it. That's awesome.
Okay.
Some trivia?
Yeah, Fletcher, he's a trivia guy. So I'm going to throw a couple questions.
Hockey? Are we hockey trivia?
We're doing hockey trivia.
Okay. Let's see it.
Okay, so I found this one interesting because I didn't. You might know it. But okay, this is the first one I'm going to go with. I got a list of them here, so it might take me a sec to pick some out. But okay, true or false? Okay.
Ooh, I got a 50% chance of getting this
Yeah,
right
that's
before I even
true. That's
started.
true. Right. Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux both scored 200 points in a single season.
False. True.
That's
It's
no.
false. It's false. It's
It's false.
false.
False. Gretzky's the only player to score 200
Yeah,
points in a single
it's
season.
false.
Mario Lemieux came extremely close, ultimately scoring 199.
No.
Oh, that's
That's tough. That is
wow.
tough. All right, give me another one. I'm 1 for 1.
Okay.
100%.
This is I don't even know who this is, but we'll go with it. Which player holds the record for the most penalty minutes in a single season with 472 PIMs in a season? Who is it? Oh, I don't think you're gonna know this, but okay.
Is it a Flyer?
It is a Flyer. Dude,
Okay.
you're good,
okay.
man. You're
Okay.
good.
Give me a sec. Old time Flyers.
If you get this,
give me the first letter of the last name.
S is in Susie. Don't take the Susie as a Q. It's not a Q. It's just S is in Susie.
Wait. Let me think. Is he a coach now?
I don't know.
I don't even know who it is. Okay. I don't know. Who's it?
Dave the Hammer Schultz.
Oh, I should have got. I could have got.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I would have if I thought harder enough about Flyers. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, well,
okay.
1 for 2, 50%.
All right. I like this one. Who finished their career with more points, Paul Coffey or Ray Bourque?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Paul Coffey.
Ray
Bourque
finished his career with
I'm struggling.
1,579. Paul Coffey finished with 1,531.
All right, I'm 1 for 3. I gotta get even. I gotta get even.
Are you 1 for 3? Are you 1 for 3?
My listeners are probably 1 for 3. Maybe they're 0 for 3. I don't know.
Nah, they're probably 0 for.
All right, a couple more.
Okay. Okay. Does Timo Solani hold the NHL record for most goals by a rookie? If so, how many did he score?
I actually know this. Yes, he does. And it's between, I'm going to narrow it down. It's between 70 and 90. Right? It's not,
That's a
it's
pretty
okay.
broad
It's not
range.
80 to 90. It's not 80 to 90. It's in the 70s.
Correct.
Okay.
Give me a number. Throw me out a number.
Okay.
Dang,
how many goals did he get his rookie year? I want to say it's between 75 and 79.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So now I'm down to 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. I'm going to go with Teemu Selanne in his rookie year had 76 goals.
Oh, dude, that's right.
Yep. Let's go, baby. I knew that one. I just baited you guys. I was baiting you.
Did you actually know that?
Yeah, I knew it the whole time.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Did you?
Good.
How do you know
quality
that?
For the list. I knew that stat. 76.
Holy shit, dude! Wow.
Just baiting the listeners.
Okay, we'll do 2 more.
Okay, give me 2 more. It's perfect timing.
Which team did Connor McDavid score his first NHL goal against?
Ooh, that's good. Is it a West Coast team? Like a Western Conference?
Yes, I believe.
Oh. Ooh, I don't know this one. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw a random. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Okay, it's in the southern states. It's southern states.
Is it Dallas?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Let's go. All right, one more.
My
Give
god,
the listeners a little treat. I'm hot right now. One more.
Holy shit. I cannot even believe this. Let me see.
Give me another modern one if there is one.
Okay. Who was the first overall pick in the 2006 draft?
Oh, I know it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. 2006. That's
You're like a hockey guru, dude.
Wait. Okay, 2005. 2004 was the lockout. And Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin had the same rookie year, both drafted first overall.
Yep.
The lockout would have been Alexander Ovechkin's first season.
Okay.
However, it didn't happen. So that put 2005 Sidney Crosby's draft year, which means 2006 is Johnson?
Yeah.
Yep,
Eric
let's
Johnson.
go.
Dude, no way.
Oh, that was a good. Oh, we gotta end on that. We gotta end on that.
Do you know? Okay. Do you know who else was in that draft? Pretty good
In the
draft
Johnson
class.
draft?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty good
gosh.
draft class actually. Doesn't say
I
who
don't
number
know.
2 was. But you want me to
Okposo?
tell you
Is
a couple?
Okposo in there? Okposo maybe?
Not on this list that I see. I mean, it only gives me like 5. Taze was 3rd overall. Backstrom 4th. Kessel 5th. Giroux
Yeah, some good
22nd. Marchand 71st.
Wait, can we just address? I teased the audience there with Ovechkin and Crosby, knowing that it wasn't either of them.
I know that was a bad tease though. Like you said it right away.
What do you mean? I said Ovechkin and Crosby the same rookie year, so it's not either of them. So that leaves Johnson, baby.
Dude, oh my God, that was crazy. Can I give you one more?
Yeah, give me one more. Give me one more. Okay. Test me.
I am mind blown right now that you are ripping these out. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a good one. How many goals did Alexander Ovechkin score during his first? Wait. Oh, no.
I'm not gonna know the numbers. Okay, I'm not gonna know the numbers.
Oh, okay. Sidney Crosby. We'll go stick with the draft because I mean,
all right.
Sidney Crosby was selected first overall in the 2005 draft. Who was second overall? This is a good one to end on.
I believe that the second overall pick was Evgeny Malkin. No. Wait. I don't know. Who was it? I can't end on a loss. I think it was Malkin.
Okay, no, Bobby Ryan.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dang, I don't even see Malkin on that list of people. Do you want
maybe
one more?
Later on? Yeah, give me one more. I gotta end on a good one.
Okay.
Fans are loving trivia.
This is crazy. I'm actually impressed though.
All right, one more.
Okay. Okay. Come on, give me.
A little silence.
Would you know a 2001 draft?
No.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's a little touchy subject right now.
Yeah, let's not do that
Russia
one.
talk. It was a little Russia talk.
Let's not do that one then.
They give me a lot of okay. Oh, see, dang it. Okay, here. I didn't even read the whole thing, but we'll just do this. Jerome McGinley wore the number 12 for most of his career. Which number did he switch to when he played for the Los Angeles Kings?
It's a good question. I knew 12 because I wore 12.
You could be bullshitting us right now. You might be teasing the audience.
I could be. I'm gonna go with 21.
And
no, what was it?
88. They must have been born. Was he? No way he was born in 88.
No.
No way. That's a weird number to wear. That is a weird number to wear.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to get into anything else?
No, I think that wraps up a pretty good episode.
I agree.
No one told me a hockey podcast.
Ton of golden nuggets in there about
a lot of nugs.
1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, some good stories. Fletcher absolutely rocked trivia. I'm actually stunned.
What was the best one? I think the Johnson one or the Solani one was probably the best one. Johnson probably is better.
Both of those were back to back too. Yeah. That was impressive. What the hell? I was not expecting you to get either of those. Yeah. I think the way you strung out the Timu Solani one was a good one with the 76 to 90,
75, 79.
I think that one was a better I thought for sure you didn't actually know it. You got me sold on that one more. So Fletcher absolutely killed trivia. I would love to see you go up 1v1 against someone on some hockey trivia.
Maybe we'll have somebody call in.
We'll do a call in. So that is it for episode number 10 of the No One Told Me Hockey podcast with myself, Jack, and my boy Fletcher over there, Trivia All-Star. I will talk to you later. Have a good rest of your week.
Have a good one, everybody. Stay safe.